Event is starting. There you go.
Ashball, switch me.
No.
Give me. No, Greg, say no.
I always sit here.
Because I can't see
Hmm.
the screen.
Oh, come on,
I'm
Mark.
blind, dude.
He's got Filipino.
Watch your
he's got
language.
Filipino
Watch your language. Okay.
No, not that one. That one.
Okay. All right. Looks like we are live. Hello, everybody. It is March 11th, 2014. Very good year. And today we've got a special guest. We've got Greg Wong, a.k.a. Spartan1117GW. If you haven't checked out his YouTube channel, check it out after this broadcast. Say hi.
Hey, what's up, guys? Hello, hello.
All right. Oh, jeez, Mark. God. I've also got Mark here, I guess, but no one cares. So.
No one cares.
Oh, come on, Mark. All right, so got a bunch of stuff to talk to you guys about today. The first of which is that today's the last day for our 21.5% coupon code called BUST. Now, you basically just type in B-U-S-T, BUST, for that 21.5% off. Now, it excludes map items as well as other special deals like our blowout clearance section, but that's pretty standard. But this is a last day, so if you guys know that there are products like, let's say, guns, gear, accessories, anything that you think you want that you can use that coupon code on, you're going to want to do that today because that's over a fifth of the price you're going to be paying for something that you could have off. That's pretty much essentially free money. So make sure to use that 21.5% off coupon code BUST by the end of the day today to get that deal. Now, we also have some other stuff coming up. Operation Reclamation 3 is going to go live as soon as, I believe, tomorrow. Now, those tickets are going to be $40, and the game is going to be May 18th. That's a Sunday, 2014, at the X Zone, the previous field that's held the last two Operation Reclamations. Now, I believe this one is called Operation Reclamation 3, Revenge of the Patriots. Now, the graphics look really cool. Now, you are an avid gamer, so you would know this. Metal Gear Solid, I believe, 4 was Guns of the Patriots?
I think so, yeah. MGS4, yeah.
Yeah, and I heard that was a bitchin' game. And I think that also informed the naming decision for this specific operation. Now, we also have some other cool stuff I want to talk to you guys about. We'll show you a little bit later, but essentially, there is some guns that just went on pre-order on our website, which you saw this weekend at SC Village. Daniel, our marketing manager, was nice enough to bring out the, let's see, this is the licensed Beretta ARX 160s. These are put out by Elite Force. These are really cool guns. They're actually used by the Italian military, and they have been deployed to Afghanistan. I believe specifically they're used by their Alpini troops, which basically means, you know, mountain troops. They're mountain regiments.
Mountaineering.
Yeah. I think Alpini stands for Alpine, but I could be way the heck off. That said, we've got a lot of cool new stuff in our new product section. Specifically, one I'm a big fan of are Under Armour Tactical Valsets boots. I own them, Josh owns them, Frank owns them, and you own them. Oh, yeah, I actually didn't know you own them.
I own a set, actually, yeah.
Well, my personal opinion is that they feel like walking on clouds of awesomeness because each boot is less than a pound. They're incredibly comfortable. They're very well ventilated. Your thoughts?
You know, I actually wore them when I was in one of my last years. It's just such a nice boot. You know, it gives you the I mean, it's got a lot of good grip on it, and it's what I like. It has a very wide base as opposed to most traditional like issued boots. They're just really narrow, really narrow. But I like because kind of get that mid-length cut to it. So for me, it was just a really nice option. Of course, light. You can move real fast, but it still has plenty of cushion. So if you do any like heavy heavy rucking or anything like that, a lot of extra padding and when you're load bearing, basically more or less.
Absolutely. Well, those are live on our site right now. We actually have some new colors in the. We do have some Under Armour Tactical Valsets boots in black, which I never thought I was going to see. So those are up now on our website. You can check them out. We also have some Bravo Airsoft flashlights in black and dark earth. They're pretty popular, and they have some new models that came out. So you check that out in our new product section. I generally like heading over to airsoftgeo.com and hitting out the new product section just to be, I guess, informed about what we're carrying again. So it's kind of fun to check out. And also we have some of my favorites. I don't know if you've used these. I'm a big fan of grenades. We have some Airsoft Innovations timer grenades in different colors. Have you used Airsoft Innovations grenades?
I haven't used them yet.
Really?
You're talking about the tornadoes, right?
Yeah, the tornado grenades.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's funny because I actually know the guy from Airsoft Innovations.
Isn't he from Canada?
I think so.
Yeah. 'Cause I thought I met him a couple of SHOT shows
I've
ago.
been killed by these before.
Yeah?
They work really well.
I've seen these
Yeah.
used really well, and I've used them really poorly, so I understand the good and the bad side of them. In case you guys don't know, the tornado grenades, they hold about 200 rounds of BBs, and they basically throw them out in a circular pattern.
Like a tornado.
Yeah, they spin like a tornado. Yeah, good point. They have two sets. You can have the timer grenade or the impact grenade. The impact grenade, once you pull the pin and it hits a hard surface, it will go off. So it's really useful for basically throwing over the cover you're in to hit someone rushing up on your cover. The timer grenades you can set for 3-second detonation or 1.5 seconds. So a lot of different options with these grenades. They aren't exactly the cheapest ones like Thunder Bees, but for your money, you're going to get a really reusable grenade that has some really fun effects.
Yes. I mean, with the time delay one, what that's good for is if you have an odd angle and you need to bounce it off something to get it into a room or something like that, or through a window or any kind of a situation like that, you can use the time version. But of course, for the impact one, it's just like straight. If you just need it really quick, right throw it over the wall.
That's right.
That's the way to go.
Yeah, and actually I hadn't thought about bouncing it off a door into a room, but that makes sense.
Battlefield.
Yeah,
you
yeah.
have like the LG grenade where you can use it to hit the top of Metro and bounce it.
Yeah.
But there's different situations with the flexibility that you can use it for.
I go back and forth between playing Battlefield 4. I think all those different issues they've been having with the servers and all that stuff kind of makes me want to stop.
Console hasn't been so bad, but the PC crowd has been hurting a little bit more lately.
Isn't that right, Mark?
Yeah, I was on Battlefield 4, and the one problem I had just showed Greg. Everything was pink, purple, green. Everything's all
artifacting or something like that.
And like pixelated and stuff. So my reticle was not a dot. It's supposed to be.
Just like
it
a
was
giant
big red square.
Yeah.
Really quick, SF Softwares. Bob, please show me the pistol mag pouch you gave you and the electric drumstick me and my friend gave you. I'm sorry, I actually did not bring those in today. My car is busted. I actually had to take those out of the car and put them in my Airsoft, armory. So really sorry I didn't bring them in today, but it's mainly because my car is busted.
Lewis, Matt, can't read that far. Mayhot.
Oh, Mailhot.
Which scar?
Wait, Mark, you got to say what he's saying. Mark, what is your build on your scar?
You got to be more specific because I have two
He's
scars. So, yeah.
Well, why don't you just go a little bit through one of them?
Okay, fine. The G&G scar, tan one, which I just found out Greg has the same exact one. King Arms Infinite Torque Motor, Lonex high-speed gears, and Magic Box compression components, and yeah, should be good to go.
A little bit of touch of Mark teching Jedi Force powers.
A lot of tuning and a lot of statistics running through it. So, yeah, a VOC scar is I think the same setup, except running a TNA 40,000 motor. So, yeah.
Which one?
It's like closer to the bottom there.
Greg, why do you put an RPG and an AFG on the same gun?
There was a couple people that I've seen. Yeah, I've seen a couple people do this. When it comes to shooting techniques, everyone's got a different grip. And to be honest, my grip changes depending on the gun because I'll have different grip setups on every gun. If I have the rail space, sometimes I like to do that because with the AFG or even a hand stop kit or anything like that, or a PTS Go Gun gas pedal kit, you can get a really aggressive grip and it allows you to snap on the targets. But sometimes when you're just kind of like sitting there pulling security, you can't pull security like this forever. So I'll have like the RVG because it gives me something that's a little bit further out than the mag well, but I can still grip it, and then I'll just be kind of like, checking stuff out. But if I'm going like full aggression, then I'll switch grips. But that's given rail space, and it's given it's not the same for everybody because it does add a little bit of weight. So not all my guns have that same setup, but some of the guns do have that setup. So it's not a bad setup if you want the flexibility.
Absolutely. Actually, a point of fact, I believe I did see that same setup of the rail vertical grip and the angled foregrip in Zero Dark 30. Yeah, a couple of those guys.
Some guys will do that too. Yeah.
Yeah, so very good point. I actually really do like those Go Gun gas pedals. I actually saw one in graphics department earlier, and wanted to get one for my LM4 because it feels really natural when I'm holding the rail vertical grip to have like my thumb on something right there. So
a good combo with that is if you have the XTM hand stop or the RVG with that is perfect because it gives you the vertical pullback, but it also gives you the thumb brake where you can kind of push down and kind of.
That's a good point.
Counter recoil.
That's a very good point.
That's a good combo.
All right, so now we had some employees as well as yourself and a bunch of other gentlemen go out to SC Village this weekend. Daniel brought out the Beretta ARX 160, and Mark was there too.
I was.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, so
slaying bodies out there.
Yeah, so I wasn't there obviously. So if you guys want to let me know, how did it go? How was your visit to SC Village?
Oh man, it was awesome. I haven't been there in a little while because I've been traveling around, but it was good to be out there with the guys and everything. And it was great because, like you're saying, Daniel brought out the gun. I've been meaning to see it in person. I've seen the real one in person, but I haven't gotten a chance to mess around with the airsoft one at all. So Daniel brought it out, and what's great about it is even though it looks kind of funky, it is actually quite comfortable.
Why don't we actually just
Yeah.
bring one on? Can you grab one,
Let's
Mark?
bring it on.
Which one?
Bring us the
That
Elite Series.
Yes. Elite Series.
We can talk about internals if you guys want. That's a good part.
Well,
Alright.
you can definitely feel the quality difference between the Elite Series and like more or less the competition series. Yeah,
Mhm.
but I mean this because Danny had the tan version of the Elite Series out there,
Yes.
but you can definitely feel the quality in the body. I mean it's really really nice, and it just like I said, it looks kind of different, but once you hold it, it still feels quite natural. Actually, I mean just this portion here feels really really good. But yeah, it was great, and I was watching him shoot, and he was getting some really nice range out of that thing. Like he was like, "Hey, Greg, come over here." I'm like, "Okay, okay." He's like, "Hey, watch this." He shoots. I'm like, "Daniel, man, that's some range, man." And it's also going to be in one of the expansion weapons for Battlefield 4 Naval Strike.
It is.
You know, I have been hearing something about this, that this gun is going to be in Battlefield 4. What I've recently seen is that this gun is actually in the most recent Call of Duty, Ghosts, I believe.
I think so. I don't really play Ghost a whole lot, so
Mhm.
I can't remember because I play mostly Battlefield. But
Mhm.
I can check and find out. I mean, more or less, it's probably true because they have a lot of the latest weapons in there.
Well, as far as like some of the specs on this, obviously, you know, like you said, there is a difference in build between the Elite and the Competition series. As far as externally wise, the Elite series has more of a matte black look or a matte look, whereas the Competition series is a bit shinier. But obviously, you know, there's a price difference. You are going to get what you pay for.
I think the material is also different
Material
as
is
well.
definitely
You're
different.
definitely.
Yes.
I mean, that's
That's the main reason why the difference in the finish. Yeah, there's not actually a coat of paint on the outside. But Mark does know some about the internals. But before we get to that, I want to go over the fact that, again, this has been used in Afghanistan. I have heard the fact that this is actually a very light gun for the real steel version.
Yeah, it's actually like from hearing, it's actually definitely because it has so much polymer on it. You know, it
Mhm.
doesn't have as much metal on it. It's definitely one more lighter. I guess you get carbines or issued rifles that are out there because it doesn't have quite as much metal. I mean, you're seeing a lot of companies start doing that, moving more towards the polymer direction. But I mean, for me, because even a actual regular like a regular GI issued M4 using whatever materials that they use, it's a heavy gun. Like as opposed to if you go to like an aftermarket M4 that's using more better materials or whatever. I mean, yeah, I mean for an standard issue rifle, I mean it's more or less lighter, better. That's why it's good for them if you're climbing mountains and stuff. You want something light so you can move.
That makes a lot of
you can
sense,
maneuver.
actually. That makes a
And if you're
huge
gonna
amount of
carry
sense.
on control for a while, I mean, they're probably more of them would probably carry this version because it's a little
Yeah,
shorter
it's
too.
much shorter. Now, I want to hear your thoughts on this because I actually really like the fact that it's licensed by Beretta. My family owns a bunch of different Beretta shotguns, both for hunting and for out on the range. So I like the fact that the gun or the firearm industry is getting more and more integrated with the airsoft industry with licensing and whatnot. So it's really cool. What are both your guys' thoughts on trademarks?
Trademarks. I do like how it's simple. It's not too tacky with the trademark all over the entire gun. It's clean. It's I say engraved in, I guess. So it's not just normal paint. So that's cool. It won't rub off. And
It's actually in the receiver.
it's actually in the upper and lower receiver, so it looks pretty good. It's a clean look.
Were you asking more about what these specific trademarks or trademarks in
More
real steel translation?
More real steel trademarks in general, but I also want to get your thoughts on the trademark application on this gun as well. So
See, well, like he was saying, the trademark application on this, it's really nice. It's nice. It's in there. I mean, it's part of the body, and it's gonna have that nice quality look to it. So it's not just like painted on there or anything like that. And the transition between real steel and airsoft, I think back in going to SHOT Show, you see it more now. Back in the day, airsoft was kind of like looked down upon. I mean, now companies are starting to see, hey, this is actually an additional market that we can use because I mean, think about it, right? Kids will pick up said rifle of whatever it's licensed as, right? And then once they get older and they want to get into real steel shooting, what are they going to get?
The real one, yeah.
They're going to get the real one, and besides, they also make extra money off the licensing too. So why not, right? I mean, all in all, it kind of helps towards their bigger goals. But it works out for us because we get these beautiful looking guns and they're officially licensed by the company. At the same time, and they get, obviously they get issue at the license. But yeah, and then when you're old enough, you can go out and pick up a real Canada Defense or a real, U.S. Palm setup or something like that.
Yeah, no, I think it's really interesting because one of the bigger companies that we were all hoping for would finally get into the game is LBT, and they came out their LBX
Yes.
line. And yeah, I definitely know for a long time, they were unsure of whether they wanted to break in the airsoft market, and now they are into it with their LBX line of stuff. So it's pretty awesome.
I have a cool insight about that. So I knew that was going to happen back like 2012, like 2 years ago, because we were at E3, Fort Medal of Honor Warfighter, and the first set of LBX was on the dummy. And I remember because I actually came to the show like the week after E3 happened, so we actually talked a bit back then too. But yeah, so LBT was there, and they were basically, I talked to Alex from LBT, and he's like, yeah, so LBX is going to be the new airsoft line. I was like, cool. It took a year for it to build up, which, I mean, it would have been nice if it came out in cohesion with the game because it would have been awesome.
That would have been good marketing, yeah.
But, I mean, LBX has really been picking up, and it's one of those things because the LBT 69-4 design, it's a tried and true design. Devger's been using it. A lot of people have been using it. LBT has been around for a while. So it's nice to see that they're applying what they know to the airsoft market because, not everyone can afford full 6094.
Good Lord, they're expensive for the ordinary airsofter.
Exactly. And what's great too is Bo from AMS is actually now part of LBX as well. So you're going to see a lot more developments between airsoft and LBX. So, and it's great. So now we get the same, pretty much practically the same quality stuff. We can go and play and have all the LBT, LBX gear and be good to go. But yeah, it's worked out pretty well ever since. I think I was actually one of the first major players to actually start rocking the LBX. So it's really gone up since then.
Yeah, actually, I remember at Timber Spout 4 and 4.5, we met one of their preliminary reps out there, and they gave both Tim and I an LBX camo, is a LBX spray paint and stencil kit. And that was one of the coolest spray paint and stencil kits I've ever seen because, well, you had all the different colors you want, light and dark, green and tan. Then you also had a couple stencils and the LBX logo in a stencil, so you create your own digital stencil. So I thought that was really cool. I can't wait to hopefully get more of that. But before we go too far off topic, Mark, you have taken apart the the Elite series of the Beretta ARX 160 licensed by Elite Force or pushed out by Elite Force. What are your thoughts on the internals?
Okay, so internals, I'm pretty pleased. The Elite series was the difference between actually I shouldn't say the difference. What the Elite series contains is 7mm steel bushings on the sector and spur gear, but it does have bearings on the bevel gear. So it's a mix and match setup. It'll help for reliability as well as performance. Personally, for shotgun, that's pretty good. Obviously better than plastic bushings. Let's see. It also has the micro switch, so then you get good quick trigger response, semi on full out. Yeah, that. It does have the quick change spring system. So if your gun's shooting too high, you want to drop the FPS limits. The lower FPS limits, you can do that, or vice versa. Since the Elite version does shoot a bit hotter, and you want to play CQB, it's quick. Probably takes about less than 30 seconds. It's a 6mm Allen with flathead screwdrivers. Pretty simple.
Oh yeah, you can really get to it really fast.
So this is our sample model, but as you can see, there's supposed to be a cap back there, but I didn't put it back on.
But you just basically pop out the cap,
pops
and the
out the
gearbox
cap.
is right there.
Yeah, it does that. However, there are a few tricks to doing that. Also, it does utilize a hinge system. So when there's a cap, there's no wires when you fold the stock. That's pretty cool. Another thing is the fact that I do like about the ARX guns. Both Elite and Competition series have this, is they have a quick change barrel system, which is
Oh yeah.
That is pretty awesome.
Funny story about that when we were at the field. I was like, hey Daniel, where's the bolt release? Because I'm looking for it. I'm like, well,
Oh,
on the
yeah,
M4
it's on
it's
the bottom.
normally there. So I'm like, this must be it. Nope, that's the barrel. It starts popping out. Like,
Yeah.
man, I'm such an idiot. And then he's like, wait, it's on the bottom. I'm like, that's interesting. But I mean, like, a lot of cool features this gun has. I mean, between the quick change spring, pretty much it's like stock's adjustable, it's collapsible, it's extendable. You have the bolt system on there. You have the quick change spring. You have quick change barrel. So like, if you want to switch out CQB length barrel to the longer barrel, you could probably do that, no problem. Huh?
And the Elite series does have the blowback system, so it runs off the piston. A little iffy there, but I know it lasts well. So far, it lasts pretty well. Oh, piston for you tech savers out there. It's made of a stronger polycarbonate material, and the teeth is a full metal tooth rack, so you don't have to
Really?
worry about stripping. The competition line obviously more affordable. It does have the plastic piston. Only one tooth is metal. It does have 7mm metal bushings all around. And the cylinder for the Elite Series is made out of brass. That one's made out of cylinder. Same with the barrel. Barrel's also brass on this one, so it's heavier, so it reduces vibration. What else? Oh, the competition line does not have the secret hinge system, so you'll see the wires, but it's fine. It's not gonna get in the way. If I want to pop that, Bob. So I don't think it's gonna get in the way. It just simply slides in. It's pretty simple. See, that one has the cover. So
That reminds me of some of the scars.
yeah, it's
Yeah,
similar to
that's
the
correct.
scars. Yeah, correct.
All right, so is that good on the internals?
I think so.
All right. So just so you all out there know, the licensed Beretta ARX 160 by Elite Force is now available for pre-order on our website. Now, the Elite series comes in black and desert. Now, the desert one is what Daniel took out this last weekend.
Yes.
Hopefully, he has some combat or action footage coming out with that. Yeah, no, it's action footage.
He's gonna get lost footage.
Yeah.
From that.
Both those guns, the Elite Series and Black and Desert, should be available on our website for pre-order for $274.99. Now, the Competition Series only comes in black, but it is available for pre-order for $164.99. So, if the Elite Series breaks the bank, we've also got the Competition Series, which is much more affordable. Now, let's see. I was going to talk about some of these comments. Let's see.
QnA.
Well, at least just go over it.
Products later, Bob.
What's up?
Got some more new products later.
Excellent work, Mark.
Indeed.
Mega Fluffy 808. Bob, how do you like the Glock I sent to Josh? And also, thank you so much for signing the box with all the other great guys at Airsoft GI. No problem. We were very happy to sign that box. I know Josh is very happy for the Glock. That's why he tried to put together a really good package for you. And thank you so much. Clock. Yes. Clock. It's a very nice clock. It's only right twice a day. So we had to do some fixing on it. Anyway, thank you, Mega Fluffy 808. That was very nice of you. Now, further up, we have JJ Watt. Bob, which do you think is the most well-rounded gun for CQB and field operations? The G&G GC16 Full Metal Riz or the Daniel Defense FMG4 Full Metal Riz? Now, that's a tough decision.
One, they're two different price ranges.
Well, yeah, they are two different price ranges. I don't know. I'm always kind of tempted to go for the FMG4 because a lot of those parts are made by Lonix.
Lonix makes good stuff.
Yeah. The GC16 is pretty darn awesome. So I would say that's a tough decision. Personally, I would go FMG4. What do you guys think?
I would say go for the price range first, but if price isn't a problem, then go for the FMG4. But yeah, I mean, because if you can't afford that, I mean, the G&G GC16 is definitely a pretty good product though too.
Yeah, I agree. I agree with Greg too. I personally like G&G. I also do like Lonix. I said if you can afford Lonix, go for it. G&G is also a great manufacturer as well.
Yeah,
So
there's a reason why a lot of fields in the nation use the G&G combat machines as rental guns because
affordable.
Affordable and you can beat them
performance,
up.
yes.
You can beat those things up. I've seen
Our
quite a few.
G4s are technically G&G guns, common machine guns.
Yeah.
We dropped our guns from like 8-9 feet in the air.
Yeah,
Remember
the
that,
drop
Bob?
test. Yeah.
And then we ran a big live through, I should say, or at least Frank did. Or no, Tim did, excuse me. And it didn't break, so
All right.
Can't go wrong with either one, but if you have the money, go for the Lonix.
Lonix.
From Blue Bear Squad, Bob, what are your thoughts on the M27 IAR? Yes.
I has.
Yes, you
Which
do. Well, let's just go with the one we know. I'm assuming the one that came out recently in all those
Tan
different
one?
colors. Yeah. I honestly think it looks really cool. I remember when Charlie got his, or Level Cap Gaming Global Cup. But yeah, no, that was really fun. He had a really cool foregrip setup on his. I can't remember the name of that off the top of my head. But yeah, no, it's a really great gun. I mean, I don't know what else to say about it. Like, it's got a really great finish. The internals are pretty good. I mean, I'm assuming you guys would know more about the internals because you personally have used it. I haven't had the chance to go airsoft with it. I've just had the chance to fire it out here in the backlot at Airsoft GI. So honestly, I think it's a solid buy just because it's a very solid gun that works really well in the field. Your guys' thoughts?
Do I get?
It's a VFC internally, and we all know how good VFCs are. I don't need to say more.
I have something to say. It's a really awesome gun. I used it out at Ballahack Airsoft Field, their Rev 4, And then what I used it again here in the States, and it was cool. Milsim Junkie actually picked mine up during the game this weekend, and I had my Spectre DR in there, but I actually had the red dot was like really zero, and he was using it. He was like, "Oh, this gun's so awesome." But I liked it a lot because I was looking to get an H&K gun, but I kind of wanted something that was more unique because everyone's got an H&K style gun out there. So the M27, which is a great gun, it's just got nice barrel length, nice resistance length. It's definitely it's a lighter weapon in the light support weapons class.
Which is nice.
I mean, it's a great gun. I mean, it's awesome.
So as you can tell, we don't really have any negative things to say about it. Oblivion Airsoft. Bob, I was at SAS Black Ops when you visited, and I still have the mag you signed. High five over the internet.
High five.
Nice. Yeah, that was a really fun trip. And
Screen.
No, I know. You were worried. I can tell. I heard that little gasp. Okay, Bob, I know you have a KnP9 and I'm getting an MP7. I'm making a loadout based around the MP7. What do you think I should get? I want to hear you guys' thoughts on this in a second. Yeah, I would definitely, I believe Navy SEALs do use that gun for operations, so you can go with a Navy SEAL style setup.
There's a lot of inspiration in that category with that specific gun. I mean, you can look at Medal of Honor Warfighter and basically build your gun off what's in that game because that's a pretty good three-dimensional reference. If you just want to go off something that's not just pictures. But yeah, that gun's definitely gotten around. There's a couple agencies and a lot of guys using it, but the MP7 is pretty legit. And if you guys didn't know, they're actually working on a more one-to-one scale version, I think. Yeah.
That's good.
Yes. The real version bigger?
The real version is bigger than the current one that's OEM by Yikai or KWA isn't quite the same size.
It's not exactly one-to-one, yeah.
But they're working on one that's more one-to-one scale. So.
Well, that's awesome. It'd be good to get closer to mil-spec if at all possible. I was actually going to suggest, as far as like carrying the magazines, because that's something I hear a lot, is that you carry like 3 to 4 magazines or more, it can be a little difficult. Now, I'm lucky with the MP9 that I have actually a G-code holster for those mags, but for those that don't, I would suggest for the MP7, we do have Blue Force Gear chest rigs that fit specifically the MP7 mags, and that's pretty awesome.
They got tacos too. They got SMG tacos, so if you have a couple different SMGs, like an MP9 or an MP7, definitely a good way to go, but the Blue Force Gear ones are great too.
However, if you guys think that's a little overpriced for your price range, the Condor P90 magazine pouches will work as well. So
good call, Mark.
SMG
good
all
call.
mags.
Yeah,
anything that'll hold a P9,
MP9, MP7,
MP5,
MP5 mags, anything that's long.
For all them Stargate fans out there.
I'm gonna stop.
Yeah, that was a joke about to happen. Yeah. All right. One other thing that I personally like, I don't know if you guys are going to be as big fans of this, is that we just got this new product on our site. It's called Capture Your Hunt GoPro mounts. Now, I along with the rest of my family, are avid hunters because I'm from a farming family, and that's just pretty standard from where I'm from. So you can mount GoPros to either a shotgun, a rail, a scope. That's the 3 things I've written down here. But it's definitely a lot of options you wouldn't normally have, especially the shotgun mount. It actually mounts on the tube underneath the main barrel. So yeah, if you guys are looking to go out hunting and record your experience, then you can do that, or you can even use it for airsoft. So those are our new product section. But I actually want to talk to probably mostly you, because I don't think you're going to play this game. Greg, have you heard of Star Citizen?
I actually haven't played Star Citizen.
Well, the game isn't really out yet. You basically just have the hangar module out, so you can basically buy all these different ships.
You could build. Basically, it's like being Han Solo. You're building your own Millennium Falcon, basically.
Yeah,
that's pretty cool. But Star Citizen, basically, you're a spacefaring.
Yeah, it's like a space sim. You can go around and do missions or take part in the single player.
Sort of.
Yeah,
like a but smaller scale, not as big as a political economical.
Yeah, probably a little bit more fast paced too. But there's a big economic world to it. But
cool.
the actual game isn't going to come out till I believe the end of this year or the beginning of the next year.
E3.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
E3.
But they've already crowdfunded $40 million for this game. So it's going to be a big one. I know Charlie from Level Cap Gaming, I got to stop saying his name, Level Cap Gaming, is really excited about the game. He's got a bunch of different ships. Josh actually got me for Christmas this really cool ship. I'm going to name the Malcolm Reynolds. But if you haven't thought about it, Greg, I think you should take a look at it. You might really like it. Yeah.
Have you been playing Insurgency at all?
I'm glad you brought that up
Yes.
because
Insurgency.
yeah, that's a really cool game. Josh, our Predator one, got on that a little
Daniel?
while back,
Daniel?
and actually, yeah, Daniel just got on it. I know Level Cap has been playing it. He put it up on his YouTube channel.
Crew.
Yeah, it's pretty fun, and actually, why don't you tell our viewers why it's different than a lot of other games?
Okay, so everyone's familiar with Call of Duty Battlefield. If you're familiar with Arma, that's basically like a hardcore milsim game. So, and then you got Counter-Strike. The best way to describe Insurgency, it's kind of like a mix between Arma and Counter-Strike with a little bit of Battlefield, a little bit of COD, but more so Arma and Counter-Strike. It's got the map layout is very similar in style. I mean, it is source engine based to Counter-Strike. It's kind of got that nice kind of small, tight, but and very intense combat, but it's kind of got the realism that Arma has, but it's not as big a scale as Arma, so you get a very intimate experience. It's like you and like 6 to 12 other guys. Sometimes you can do force on force, you can do op 4 against the AI. It's really cool, and then you can actually do some really good tactics in there because just what I see a lot of people do is they get stuck in doorways and choke points when they shouldn't. And once they get to the funnel, they just need to push through because then a lot of guys get dropped in there. It's a really cool game. It's on Steam. It's only like $15, but a lot of people have been playing it. I've been playing it. I was playing it while waiting for Titanfall to finish installing, but yeah, Titanfall. Yeah.
Now, what's really interesting about that, or like some of the first things that Josh mentioned to me, is that unlike Battlefield 4, where when you shoot someone, you have a marker saying, "Hey, you hit that
There's
guy."
no hit indicator. Yeah.
Yeah, there's
you just see pink vest.
Yeah, well, if you shoot someone through a wall, you can either go through the wall and kill him or wound him or whatnot, but you have no indication, so you have to go confirm your kill. That's a much different mechanic or dynamic than a lot of people are used to.
It's kind of like old school Counter-Strike, but without the kill feed, because there's
Yeah.
no
Plus
kill feed.
100.
But it's cool because like if you shoot someone, he drops, you're like, okay, cool, and then whatever you walk over there, like, oh, he's dead. And you just keep going, like,
Super cute.
super cute. He's dead.
All right. All right. Someone was asking L117 Monkey, how do I get into Airsoft? Any advice? Some other folks responded by, go to your local field and try a rental gun and get out there.
Find a buddy.
Yeah.
Find a buddy who's been playing for a while and have him introduce it to you, so you're not going into it blind. Like that's what I typically do. I'll introduce someone to the sport. I'll give them a gun, some ammo. I'll give them a basic rundown of what they need to do in the field, the basic rules, and then just let them have fun. More or less, let them really have that nice intimate experience that to pop the cherry and to get into the sport. But yeah, and then if you have a younger player too who's been playing for a while, there's like one thing that I do. It's like Matt Washington, who was my buddy. I basically took like a regular guy and I like kind of brought him into that kind of like semi-industry level of play where he knows all the field owners like by first name and everything, and some of the guys in the industry too. So if you know someone out there who's kind of like maybe your idol or something, like see if they'll kind of be like your Jedi master. You'll be like the Jedi Knight or the Padawan, and kind of their apprentice. Get more acquainted with the sport. It's
basically, try and find an Airsoft mentor, someone who can guide you into the sport. If you don't happen to have that option, finding a reputable field in your local area is also a very good thing. You want to make sure to always wear your safety eye protection on the field. A lot of things I see with new players is that they get shot and they're walking out and they think just because they're shot and walking out they can just take their mask off. You need to always keep your eye protection on when you're on the field with live Airsoft guns.
I have one saying about that. Eyeballs don't grow back.
Correct.
Remember that.
Full seal eye protection.
Robot,
yeah.
you can always solder a new one on.
Yeah.
You bet, Mark. Okay. All right. We got Damien Strufar. What do you think of the PTS Mega Arms MKM?
Yes.
What a fortuitous question, because we have someone who works with PTS right here. Now, we're actually just...
Who's that?
we were just talking about the PTS Mega Arms MKM recently. First of all, because I know you're itching to get to it, what are your thoughts?
I tell you, it's a really awesome gas blowback rifle. Now, one of the things I like about it is that for the same price you get like another gas blowback gun, you're basically getting all the stuff that you would literally put on it in the first place. Key mod rails that are mil-spec key mod, and so it's going to work with all the key mod accessories that are out there. It comes in, oh, there it is. Oh, this is the one too. This is the exact one. I actually did my review with this exact gun.
And Greg,
And then,
what did you do to it?
Freaking Greg, man, jeez.
But okay, so and then I brought it to these guys over here, and they did their video on it. But yeah, it has.
We had to fix it first.
Yes.
Just saying.
You know why? Because I operated it too hard.
You operationally put pain in it.
Yeah. I know.
Dang it, Greg, you're killing me. Anyway.
But it's a really nice build. You have nice monolithic. I mean, it's basically monolithic. The way it's designed, it is in there. And we actually, I was luckily able to find someone who had a real Mega Arm, so we put it right next to it. It is like 1-to-1. Yes. And you get this beautiful body built at lower receiver, skeletonized trigger. Yeah, and it comes with a crane stock too.
Short trigger pull. Too.
So the reset's really, really nice. And one thing too, if you get a gas blowback, and because it's basically everything's OEM by Yikai, which is the same people who make KWA products, so compatible with all those LM4 mags. One upgrade that I really recommend off the bat is actually replacing the charging handle with the Rainier Arms charging handle.
Yes.
I did that to my LM4. It's just so nice, like, because I mean that's the only thing that I wish they kind of upgrade out of the box. But yeah, like a Rainier Arms charging handle is a great upgrade out of the box, and it typically comes with orange flash hider, but we put the Griffin arm and muzzle brake on there, and it was funny because after you guys put the video up, and I had my video of it, and then there was a couple other videos of me with it too as well. All these started like going out of stock, like here at GI. So I was like, oh, you guys need to order some more of those. But it's really nice because this actually kind of complements the look really well because it's not too crazy, but it's kind of a nice simple muzzle brake, but it just looks really well with the gun. But yeah, definitely get a red dot for this thing and you're good to go. I mean it's beautiful.
Rainier Arms.
Yes, Rainier Arms.
Your thoughts?
Okay, so I own the LM4 and I do like how this is set up. It's similar to what I have. I just have the Troy TRX RAS system. So I do like the key mods. Excuse me, key mod system allows me to quickly or easily install rails or whatnot, any accessories I need to put in. It's just a unique gun. It's like I have the LM4. Yeah, it looks like another LM4 out there. But it doesn't shoot as hard, but it looks like another LM4 out there. So this will make you stand out from the crowd. I mean, it's a little difficult on the field, but it's really, really fun to use.
It gives you a good challenge. It's going to give you a good challenge on the field.
Challenge is not a problem.
So you're going to shift your play style to something that's a little bit more tactical because you only have so many rounds in a mag. And if you're already a GVBR guy, then you're going to be used to that kind of gameplay. But I mean, this thing, it was so much fun to be running a gas gun again because I haven't run a gas one in a while because East Coast was a little bit cold out there.
Yeah.
But yeah, this it's good to go.
But the only difference is I have a mine. It's like I have the Noveski. And I mean, the Rainier charge handle is pretty good because I don't use the bolt release. I actually power stroke the whole gun.
I'm pretty sure Andrew taught you that one.
No. The fact that I just don't like the feeling of the bolt slamming forward. So I just like having it. It's cool and stuff. I did some work to my LM4 as well as a friend of mine who also did some work to it as well. But overall, LM4, any gas blowout rifle, Mega Arms, the it's really fun to use. Challenging but fun. It's like
plus it's key mod.
And slow cam.
Yes.
Now, if you don't mind, as far as I'm concerned about this, I own an LM4 PTS.
You own the original super high end one.
That's right. Now, I am personally not as big of a fan of the key mod rail setup.
Take that back right now.
Hey, the thing is, I'm also not as big a fan of Polar Stars, but it's not because I don't doubt their effectiveness. I certainly can personally test their effectiveness when they gun down 60 of my Rebels, and there were only 2 guys on the end of that Polar Star. So, it's just that, I don't like how slim the rail is, but I can tell you it is incredibly light. So, Greg, like you were talking about earlier, when you're snapping back and forth between targets, because this rail system is lighter, you're going to be able to do that faster, and that's probably going to make you survive a little bit longer in the Airsoft engagement. I do like
me.
Okay, Mark. Now, I do really like the low receiver on this. I do like the cool PTS logo on there, as well as a different build on the receiver, and actually the upper receiver as well. That's pretty cool.
It's what's great is, like I said, it's one piece. I mean, it's basically like this thing is like attached. Like the rail is not going anywhere.
Yeah,
it is on there.
This is an incredibly solid gun, which you can't say for a lot of guns, but for gas blowback, this is really important to have.
Even the older LM4s, like the upper wasn't like a one piece. Like even the top rail was an additional thing that they attached. But Yeah, it's good to go. And I still remember when you got your first LM4 when we did the LM4 versus AD game.
That was a fun game.
Yeah.
And actually, I think that was. I'm glad you're here for this, Mark. Because I remember when you actually did a bunny hop kill on Mark because Mark, you were holding
The
down like
famous
half
bunny
of the
hop
damn
kill?
field. Just oh my god, that was
Actually, that gun is right there.
this one, right?
Except this one shoots like 480 at like 40 rounds a second.
I think that was the last time I
So-
ever put my LM4 on full auto because I was just so pissed off. I was like, God damn you, Mark. And but the
doesn't
thing is,
work.
like,
It doesn't work.
it's such a no. It did work for a little bit. It's just it's such a pittance compared to your rate of fire. Like it was like wham, 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 and then yours would just return 30 BBs at me. So
It
it's
was
fun.
slow back then. It was a slow day.
Oh, whatever. But yeah, it was really funny to see you bunny hop on Mark and get him because it brought me back to the Counter-Strike days.
Yeah.
That was,
I know,
that was
right? I was
good.
like, this is happening right now.
I'm glad.
Bunny hop.
I'm glad I hit Greg in the freaking plate carrier because if he jumped a little bit higher, I don't think he would have.
I would have been hitting the
hit-
kids.
Yeah,
He would have been down probably for the whole day. That would have hurt so
well,
bad.
we will just call Darwin on that one. All right, David Nemasek. Bob, what is a good age for someone to start Airsoft?
Age, really.
Well, I mean, there are lower ages which you might not suggest. Like, let's say as young as 3. That's probably not a good age to start playing Airsoft.
I would
Fine.
say, I mean, the appropriate age, probably, I mean, as basically old enough to start playing on a regulation field,
Bingo.
is probably good to go. Of course, make sure, if you're that age, make sure you have someone who's kind of mentoring you again and kind of teaching you proper gun safety and everything like that, so that when you get in there, you're not just starting super, super, super fresh. Like you have a basic understanding of all the things that come into place when owning a replica gun.
Yeah, no, I would agree. I think a lot of fields do have age limits as young as 10, and at least most of the fields I know of will at least give you a full rules briefing, give you an introduction to Airsoft, and also how to play it safely. So you always want to make sure, obviously, you're going to a regulated field and also, a very legit field, someone that field that takes safety very seriously. Yes, Henry Skeen. Bob is the only person not in HD. That's because on this side of the camera. Oh, geez. This side of the camera, it's actually a little bit blurry. So yeah, we got Greg and Mark in HD and me in
1080p,
standard
480p.
definition.
All right, I'm gonna answer one of you guys' question. I don't remember what your name was, but you asked if the OSS from Mad Bull, the Barrel Central, will fit in this gun. It will fit inside this rail. It's not gonna fit inside.
Oh, it's not
this
going to
rail.
fit on there. Well, because the end of this barrel, too, is up to here, too.
Well, yeah, but even if
Stop
you're,
too.
well, I think not the gun, but the rail in general, it's not gonna fit.
It would look kind of cool on the end of it, though. I actually know some of the guys from OSS, too.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
Not surprised,
I went to
Greg.
that after party. It was awesome.
Oh yeah, I remember. You got
With
the
the
boxes.
attack dogs
Ugh.
in the hotel suite.
Good Lord.
Nuts.
All right. Actually, it's funny. Colin C. Music is here, but he's asked me to sing the Ballad of Bob the Axeman. I'm not going to sing it right now because
There's a ballad?
I'm gonna. I tried to tell you about it earlier. We got interrupted. I can't remember by whom, but yeah, no. First of all, I am an awful singer. I can't even hit middle C. I can play the piano. I can play the Legend of Zelda: Ocarina of Time, which is in the other room.
I'll bring a keyboard for our next
Ocarina.
live show. I'll play for you guys.
Okay. Oh, that'd be kind of fun.
Actually,
Actually, that'd be fun if you could like do the keyboard or like have like a thing of sound effects.
Yeah.
Like you could just pipe in at some point.
I'll bring a whole like record suit and everything while I'm at it.
That would be really fun.
Say, Mr. Dykstra. Josh Dykstra, what upgrade should I put in your VFC Scar H for more range? Let's scroll up, ready. Miracle Barrel's good. With the modified Ryusoku bucking, which is really good too. If you're a little more tech savvy, or if you don't know how to do it, you can't do this with the Miracle Barrel, but the R-Hop, that's good too. R-Hop with a standard like Type 4 barrel. You can't do R-Hop with a Miracle Barrel. It's a little difficult. It's
Why?
not
Because
gonna
the cut of the opening of the barrel?
Oh, sorry. But if you want to go answer your question.
Yeah. Edward Liu, can I get a shout out for my birthday? I'm 18, so I can finally purchase Airsoft stuff. Edward Liu,
Happy birthday!
shout out
birthday.
approved.
Yeah.
Happy birthday.
Michael Meager, how functional is the Banshee for CQB?
Banshee? You're talking about the best?
Yeah.
Banshee rifle plate carrier.
It's
It's a
really
really, yeah.
functional, I guess. I hold 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 mags. All high caps. Why? Because it's hard to find mid cap to feed my gun.
I think what Mark is trying to say is, yes, it's actually very functional for
It's
CQB.
very functional.
Most
I was a little
functional-
confused at first, but it's really functional. And I had the TUC, so pretty good.
A plate carrier is like a canvas, and the pouches are like the paint. So however you configure it is going to change its
Dang.
functionality a lot.
That was very.
That was very professorial. I felt like I was in college there.
Oh, God.
Yeah, no, it's pretty good. I mean, it's in case you're asking if it's like high speed, low drag, or just much smaller or
it's a good
not
vest.
not as bulky. I would agree with all those statements I just said. It's not very bulky. It's very well done. It's actually rated for use by the LAPD as well as certain sheriff's department in SoCal because of how well it's made and how easy it is to use in the field.
That's why Andrew was rocking it, and then he got it.
Well, he's not in the field yet, but he knew he wanted to have one. So for years down the road, when he finally gets to the field, he can use that. But,
Oh, what do we got here?
all right, looks like we've got another new product that Mark is pulling out.
Yeah, if you want to answer one more question, then I'll show you guys new products.
Maybe I
Oh,
will.
oh.
Matthew Hopp, explain Boneyard. Well, the Boneyard is essentially different pieces of guns and other accessories that we've either I don't want to say they've been used, but have either been put into the Boneyard because they've been used on other guns, or that our techs have pulled apart. A lot of
Extra
times
stuff, really.
it's essentially extra
Some
stuff. I mean,
different-
yeah, when we have a Boneyard sale, like when you can come down here in person, some of those guns, there's very little wrong with them. I remember a couple Boneyard sales ago, there was a family that pulled out a saw
Boneyard, huh?
from the Boneyard, and the only thing that was wrong was a broken fuse. So they essentially had a whole saw. They just had to go buy a new fuse for it.
It was
So
like $5 for a fuse. You buy a pack of like 5 or 6 at AutoZone.
Exactly, and I can't remember what they got the saw for. It was something absurd, like $40 or $60.
Yeah.
But yeah, the Boneyard's a really good deal if you know what you're looking for, or if you just want to find a piece to tech with or to play around with. That's also another great reason to get something from the Boneyard.
Boneyards are awesome to find that one little piece that you just can't seem to find, especially if you're looking for a piece from an older gun, because most of those older guns are going to end up in Boneyards.
Yeah.
But I mean, and how does a Boneyard accumulate? Well, just like anyone who has a lot of guns and you've been messing here and messing here, pretty soon you acquire a pile of extra bits and pieces, and you're like, wow, this is a lot of stuff. But that's when you're a retailer, it's magnified. So you have tons and tons of stuff that you can get a really great deal on if you go to the Boneyards.
Great way to check on guns too, if you want to learn.
Alrighty.
All right, shall we, Bob?
Go for it.
We have this.
I can't see it.
He's like, we have
Look at this.
Goodbye.
Okay, so we got some new
yeah.
stuff from Madbull, the
Yeah.
SI parts. We got the SI Magbull trigger guard. Pretty cool. It'll help when reloading, I guess, according to Madbull
Really?
Strike Industry and stuff. I personally haven't tried it yet, but because I practice how I reload, so I know where my Magbull is. I know it's consistent.
Oh, it's got a magwell
Yeah,
guide.
it's got that
I
magwell
see.
guide, yeah.
So instead of basically having a full flared magwell at the rear base of the magwell, at the rear base of the
There you go.
magwell, there's like a little piece that sticks out to kind of help you guide it in.
So yeah, that will be on our new products page. And one product I do want to mention, I already showed it already, but
Josh has got that on his.
this is actually different. This is the SI Mega Fins. Actually, Josh, Walk-in Store Josh, he mentioned something.
Josh?
Yeah, he mentioned this to one of our purchasers, and yeah, we got our hands on it. So it looks just like the Key Mod.
4 mil symbol.
I mean, it looks like just like the one on the
Mega Arms?
Mega Arms.
It's very similar,
there's the way it is. There's different grooves here. I guess it also helps for cooling on a real firearm, but you can't put this on a real firearm because it's sort of like the fins inside a CPU, a computer.
Yeah, if
Yeah.
you look at a heatsink, it's a heatsink basically. Heatsink
Exactly.
is essentially
Thank you.
what it is.
And there's fins on the
versus
inside
heat,
to
yeah.
help. Where's the camera? To help with the
Oh, yeah.
cooling.
This is
There's
very
those
nice
fins.
Oh, I also want to see how closely this is like.
All right, I'm just going to answer a question real
Q-Mod is
quick.
actually a pretty
Slick Brett
universal
Gamer,
design.
Bob, what do you think of the G&G Extreme 45 CO2? By the way, I'm asking Bob, no one else, smiley face. Okay, so I had my hands on that recently. I haven't been able to put it through a stress test or anything. The thing is, it is really cool to have CO2 guns because they do work in lower temperatures than generally than green gas guns will. Now the gun is very affordable, so you are going to get what you pay for. So I wouldn't say to expect it to last an incredibly long time, but that said, it is a very fun gun. So if you're looking for a CO2 gun that's very affordable, that's a really good option. Now, if I had my druthers and I had quite a bit of money, or at least a fair amount of money, I would probably be getting the Elite Force CO2 1911. That gun has a lot of kick. It's going to last for quite a while. But if you're just getting into airsoft, or you want a gun that's really affordable, the G&G Extreme 45 CO2 is actually a pretty good option. But again, you do get what you pay for, so don't expect it to last for years on end.
Was he looking for a good solid pistol?
No, he's asking specifically about
About
a
that one?
certain pistol. All right.
Before you guys continue, I just want to say that these mega fins will be available in 13-inch, 9-inch, 7-inch, and 11-inch. So they'll be on the new products page shortly. If not, they should be already. And if Bob wants to answer more question, I have a few more new products I want to talk about.
I'm going to respond to a statement. Colin C. Music. I wish Josh's neckbeard was here. Good point.
Good point. However, let's.
Yeah, that was, he has more of a statement. It wasn't really a question. So, let's see.
Come to your store tomorrow. Do you have the Mega Arms
All
in
right.
stock?
I don't believe we have it in stock at our shipping point right here. We may have it in stock at our walk-in
May
store.
have one left.
Yeah.
May.
Pick it up while you can.
I don't know if we can get that one. That said,
This is your guys' one. I'm dead.
Someone was just
Call your
asking.
hits.
Okay, someone was just asking earlier. I didn't get to it. I believe it was if you'd rather have the VFC Scar L or if you'd rather have the VFC 416 CQB or VFC 416C.
That's
Okay.
They're very different.
Yep.
So it's a really tough choice. It depends on your taste, really. I mean, if you want the Dev Crew look, then go with the 416. But if you kind of want the Army Ranger, because a lot of Army Rangers are running heavies, like in USASOC and SOCOM.
This is the Scarlight.
Well, even then, even the earlier, when the Scarlight was still being issued out, a lot of guys were running those. But I mean, it depends on your taste, what kind of functionality you're looking for. I mean, because they're very, very different guns.
Very.
Yeah.
I personally prefer the Scarlight, but that's just because I've had a lot of experience running that airsoft gun. What? What, Mark?
No, you just Scarlet. You have a lot of experience because.
Oh yes, that.
I think it's fine. I'm actually certified on that weapon system.
Oh, that's right. I remember you telling me that.
I'm armor certified on the Scarlight, Scar Heavy, the P90, and the F2000.
I remember the day that you posted that. No, actually, it's really funny because I have I believe it's a G&G Scar. But the first time I met Mark, he let me use his VFC Scar, and you had a Surefire Fat Mag for it, or I don't know if that's exactly what it looked like it.
It's a Fat Mag.
But the thing is, I've been running gas blowbacks for about a year up to that point. I hadn't really touched an AG. So the moment I had that and I realized I had so much ammo at such a high rate of fire, it was basically like a whole new world. Like I was just running around. It was really fun.
Laying the waste.
That's right. All right. Nathan Only. Shout out before I leave for Jamaica. Nathan Only. Shout out approved.
Oh, man.
Let's see if we have any more questions. Getting to the tail end of this broadcast.
You guys want dead rags? We have new ones coming.
Yeah.
Pretty cool.
They feel pretty nice too. I like how the
cool. Check them out on our
edges
new products page. Yeah. Actually, really stitched it well. Sorry.
Yeah, the edges are stitched really well. That's one.
Easy to wash too, in case you guys drop in the mud.
All right. So this is actually a question for everyone. Derek Spolhoff, or forgive me if I said your name correctly, Spolhoff. What is your favorite real steel pistol?
Steel as in STEL?
Sphinx.
Why are you going to make fun of that?
I wasn't sure. Because they're metal pistols, they're plastic pistols.
You're wearing it, Bob.
Sphinx,
This is
yes.
going to work out real well. All right, so what about your guys? What is your favorite real steel pistol?
Okay, I'll go first, since I'm listening. I really don't have a favorite. I try not to have favorites of anything, but preferred Sphinx pistols are good. Andrew's Kimber.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't fired it, but I like the way it felt. So one day, hopefully, I get to fire that pistol. But other than that, your turn.
For me, it's a toss-up. I do love the Scorpion 1911. It's a really nice 1911. But since shooting the Sphinx at SHOT Show, that thing is scarily accurate for someone who because I don't have a terrible amount of pistol experience, but wow, that thing you can drill really good with that gun. I mean, it is dead on. A lot of it too is part of I'm pretty sure about how the way the trigger mechanism is. It's a very nice smooth trigger with a really smooth reset, and so it's a really well built sidearm. It's a little more, I believe, on the more expensive tier, but it's worth it if you have the money to invest in it.
I believe part of it is hand built.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, so it has that hand touch quality to it, that finesse to it that's really gonna give it that extra edge.
Absolutely. And I'm sad you guys all almost said the same thing, but yeah, I would actually have to go with the Sphinx pistol as well. I haven't put too many rounds downrange through it, but from the
The
few
rounds went straight, right?
That is right.
Very straight. You're just
it was
wow.
It was shocking, actually. It was I don't know. It felt like the Ferrari of pistols. I guess that's probably not the right term to use, but it was
BMW of pistols. Woo!
the what?
BMW of pistols.
Oh, you and Tim. You
Yeah,
and
I know.
Tim.
Tim's like, yes.
Yeah, I don't think Tim is here today.
He's,
so.
he was in Germany for IWA, so which is like the German SHOT Show.
Yes.
Iwa.
Iwa.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was curious
Yeah.
how that was going.
If you guys haven't checked out, there's a lot of cool stuff coming out from Kraytech too at
Who's
that
monitoring
event. So.
this live show?
I have no idea, but there's a
Josh
lot of
is
stuff
there.
flagged for spam. Maybe it's Darren. Michael
Darren's like, no.
Michael Meager, when using gas blowbacks, do you all play differently on the field than when you use AEGs? I'm going to say this right off the back. Absolutely.
Not.
You're wrong.
I'm the same person. So
Whatever. Mark, when you have like 30 to 40 rounds a second, and
No,
I
if I use my LM4.
I know, but that's what I'm saying is like you're gonna play differently because you have less rounds and you can't fire them as nearly as fast. So I think if you say you play the exact same way, I think you're full of crap.
I think there is a little bit of variation of playstyle.
Just a little.
Situation dictates because you are more aware. You're more aware of the ammo capacity issue at hand. Certain fields, certain playstyles will work for no matter what you're using. Certain tactics will work no matter what you're using. So as long as you have a good solid tactics to base off of, you'll be good. Of course, what's going to change is primarily your ammo conservation.
Yes.
And kind of picking your fights. Because with an AEG, typically you catch a group of 5 guys or like a whole bunch of them, you can spray a lot. With an AEG, with a GBBR, sometimes you get a good burst or just nice double taps on each one.
Yeah.
But you're definitely more conscious of what your ammo in your gun is. So you're gonna be reloading a lot more. So you're more conscious. It's like, okay, I only got 3 mags left. That's maybe 120 rounds. I've already used 3 mags. As opposed to the AEG, it's like, I'm in my position. I'm like,
if I could shoot really quickly on semi and AEG, I would. But the nature of AEGs is if you shoot a lot of semi, the motor heats up a lot, especially mine. Because I build my own
AEGs run better when you shoot on auto.
Yeah, if you want to kill that, you're gonna have to shoot auto or burst. And on top of that, that's how
MOSFET.
AEGs. For Milsim games though, if I do play Milsim game and the weather is just right, I will take my LM4. I will leave all my AEGs at home. Bring gas.
It's satisfying.
It's satisfying. The only reason I
Especially
use
for
my
CQB.
AEG is because it's more effective for quick games.
But if you want a hybrid, you can always get the ERG because it's got the recoil and it's got the.
That's right. I do like the ERG for that fact is that it's the middle ground between an AEG and a gas blowback. It's, I mean, not functionally, but the recoil.
It gives you the guilty pleasures of a little of both.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Shoot.
What does kawaii mean?
It means cute in Japanese.
Yes. Kawaii.
Only reason I know is because Japanese chicken. Japan.
And you were stationed in Japan, and I've been
my
to
friend
Japan.
texted me and she's
She
Korean, but she starts typing in Japanese. I didn't understand anything, so I literally had to Google it. I'm like, all right.
Google Translate.
Ryan Kavanaugh. Hey, Bob, me and my friends want to see who will get a shout out from you first. Shout out approved, Ryan Kavanaugh.
Bam.
Done.
Indeed.
All right, we've only got a few minutes left. All right.
Mad minute coming up soon.
Oh, shoot. Jesus or Jesus Lopez, what site do you guys suggest for close to medium range? I just flubbed that one, I know. I read the first part of the name before I read this. Okay, whatever. What site do you guys suggest for close to medium range?
AMP red dot with magnifier.
Endpoint T1.
I mean, more or less. Any kind of micro red dot that's got, because you don't have as much tubing effect. Or if you can get a replica of like the SRS that's out there,
5.52.
but the AMP red dot that's got a high riser and it's like nice short tube, because that's what I use. It has a kill flash on it, so if you get shot, not a big deal.
Yep.
And if you need the extra magnification, depending on what gun it is, because sometimes the magnifier will sit differently on different rails. But if it sits perfectly where you bring over the magnifier and it's perfectly zeroed, then you're good to go. It's going to give you that flexibility, and then you can just swoop it over when you go in CQB or when you're just hitting just regular targets. But yeah.
Sad to say, I'm actually going to have to agree with both you gentlemen. I think micro red dot is a very good choice for that because you can also see around it pretty well, as well as having that red dot effect. And the kill flash is definitely important, especially when you're taking fire.
Medal of Honor Warfighter setup. Big
Anti-star makes good
operators
optics,
use that
guys.
setup.
Okay. Oh, shoot. The comments just went crazy. Where is this? All right, Kyle Hazard can use a high cap with a Polar Star.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
You can.
Yep.
And people do.
A lot of people do. Alex Sweetie HK45 thought question mark. I assume you want to know our thoughts on the HK45.
It's pretty cool. That's what Josh has on his list.
Yeah, actually, Josh and I both have HK45s. I'd like to hear your guys' thoughts before I do. I am a huge fan of this gun. I've been actually using it for quite a while now. Used it at the Rebel Training Camp Northern Resistance very recently. I think it's a really good gun for the fact that it's got a very contoured grip, and it's so contoured and so comfortable, it feels like an extension of my arm, which is really good. It's very instinctive to aim for me, but it also has a large ammo capacity, which is also great for me.
For gas guns, especially.
Yep.
I think with that contour grip, like you said, it's going to make it feel more natural. It's more economic. But what it also means that your grip is going to be the same every time, which is really important. It's one of the fundamentals of shooting is having a nice, consistent grip, and it's going to help out a lot with that. And of course, KWA makes really reliable gas blowback guns, so that's definitely a win.
Absolutely.
CY Airsoft. Mark, do I prefer gas block rifles or AEGs? I don't have a preference for guns,
Situation dictates.
exactly.
Dictates,
It depends on situation. Depends on the game. So if I'm gonna play at local SC or
if it's a meat grinder game, you're going to the AEG.
Yeah.
But if it's like something that's a little more intimate, a little bit more private,
exactly.
you might go with the gas blowback gun.
Well, if it's a private game, it's for a bunch of our GI employees, I'll still use my AEGs just to screw with them.
Oh, wow. All right, well,
Piss them off.
it looks like the comments are going crazy at the tail end of the live
What's
show.
my favorite?
And we're actually at 5:30, so I'm just going to mention one more thing before we sign off. If you guys have checked out our website, we are actually offering burst functionality to over 300 of our AEGs on our website. You can actually just for $20 extra, you can add I believe it's
Burst Wizard.
the Burst Wizard King Kong Super 2 MOSFET. I believe that's the actual title. Normally, if you buy it, something like that. If you buy it on our website, it's $40, but if you get it with an airsoft gun, it's $20. So it's a really good just add-on feature. It's going to give you extra reliability and a burst functionality. So that is really awesome. If you're looking at a new AEG, I highly suggest you check that out. You don't want to miss out on it because if you're going to buy it down the road, you're going to be spending $20 more. So
I like to mention before we go, it will help regulate the amount of power going through, so your contacts in your gun will last longer. The voltage sometimes voltage spikes without a MOSFET. It'll actually help that, so it doesn't spike. It's always consistent.
Is that when fusing happens? Like if you get fusing between the battery and the gun?
Sometimes, but usually that's because if you shoot a lot, it's just heat.
Going ham.
Yeah.
If the gun's not shimmed well, you get more friction in the gun, the motor, and everything will heat up, and then you fuse.
Bob's lost.
Well, no, I was catching it. It's just we're getting past time. So as you can tell, like these two gentlemen were saying, it does add reliability to the gun. So that is very important.
And 3-round burst is cool.
3-round burst is cool.
6-round burst.
All right, so we are at the end of our live show, March 11, 2014. Thank you, Mark, for coming in. Thank you very much, Greg Wong, Spartan 1117GW, for stopping in. If you haven't checked out his YouTube channel, check it out. Obviously, Spartan 1117GW. All right, well, that's going to be the live show for today. I'm Bob the Axeman Hildebrand. Mark, help me turn this off.
GW stands for Greg Wong, in case you guys... I
don't think anyone figured it out. No. No, I don't think
He's Master Chief.
I don't think anyone got it.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye now. Bye-bye. Remember we were doing that clap thing at the gas blowback game? We're like, what is this for?
I was like, that's for syncing audio.